Good afternoon, everybody. Dave Neal here on this Friday, August 22nd, 2025. We got all your stories for your rush hour ride home. I'm at the mobile studio setup here in St. Louis. Got shows tonight, tomorrow night. If you like to laugh, if you like to have a good time, you know where to be. We're going to dive into this Blake Lively story in a moment, just in a moment. So stick around. Blake's new movie coming out, the media roasting her. Have the tides turned? Are they no longer afraid of Khaleesi and or her dragons? We'll get into that. Plus breaking news about the now murder suspects in that sad case of the baby who went missing last week. That's a breaking news story. Plus John Bolton had his home raided by the FBI. It's a wild time to be alive. And then we're going to end on a heartbreaking note as I've got some personal thoughts as to the most beloved judge of all, Frank Caprio, who passed away just a couple days ago. Also, updates on the Laura Owens case. Again, tons to get into. Let's start right here. Like I said, if you wanted to see me, I don't get paid any extra if you guys come or not. But if you want to see me, I'm at the St. Louis Funny Bone tonight. I had AI make this photo. I don't know if that looks like me. Why does it? Do I look that old? They really, I guess I do. I mean, oh boy. Either way, see me at the St. Louis Funny Bone tonight. Two more shows Saturday night. Breaking news updates. We have breaking news updates. The parents of the missing boy arrested for murder. This is heartbreaking. This is sickening. We kind of knew that this story was going in this direction. Emmanuel Haro. The mystery surrounding the disappearance of 7-month-old Emmanuel just got a major update. The California baby's parents, Jake and Rebecca, have been arrested for murder, TMZ has learned. Yeah, we've heard stories about this real awful human on the right, this man having had issues where he's abused his kids in the past. I'm not saying she wasn't complicit. Honestly, if this was his doing, turn this guy in. You know, she had a bruise. I mean, by all means, as far as agency goes, she might be just as much of a monster. I truly don't know. It is such a sad story. Law enforcement says the couple who previously claimed their baby had been kidnapped in the parking lot of a Big Five sporting goods store are now facing potential charges after being arrested in their home Friday morning. And you know what's sad is they've got other kids. It's a whole mess. It's a mess of a story. We're going to have to cover it, though, so we'll have updates as they come. Let's dive into Blake Lively. How about this title from this Page 6 article? Blake Lively roasted after landing starring role in new rom-com. Good luck to the director. Jeez. Good luck to the director. Good luck to the intimacy coordinator. Good luck to craft services. Do not make eye contact. Literally, nobody is going to be near Blake Lively. She's going to be like when a shark swims through a school of fish and they're like, I got to stay away. Blake was roasted on social media by Justin Baldoni fans after she was announced to star in and produce the forthcoming rom-com, The Survival List. Remember, someone said, The Survival List, that sounds like the list of people that she's worked with in the past. So again, the title of the movie speaks for itself. But hey, this is what I've said. I've said this all along. Blake Lively is a movie star, whether you like her or not. Don't unsubscribe to my channel. Don't downvote me. It's not gonna get her fired from the movie. She's a movie star. She's gonna sell tickets to this movie, or it's gonna be a bomb. Either way, they have a way of falling up the ladder, don't they? So she's got work coming in, as Baldoni doesn't. We provided in the morning episode possible proof that Baldoni was defamed, as James Vistuka, formerly worked at the Daily Mail, has been absolutely roasted and exposed by Without a Crystal Ball on Instagram, which we're going to dive into next. So we shared this morning. Again, if there's anybody in this case that is worth following right now, it's Without a Crystal Ball. I'm sorry. She is dropping the receipts. James Vituska sent me text messages. Again, this is from Without a Crystal Ball, Katie. Sent me text messages between his editor at Daily Mail about the inclusion of the text messages in Baldoni's lawsuit. In June of 2025, Vituska told his editor that he knew that they were going to use the text. He was okay with the text being used, and he understood why they would be used. Yesterday in court, he declared under the penalty of perjury that he never authorized the use of his text messages with Leslie Sloan and Melissa Nathan in Baldoni's lawsuit. He lied under oath. I have so much of this evidence. I could be here all day. Katie, we got time. Back it all up, right? So here it is. You can see for yourself. Why is this interesting? Well, I don't know how the judge is going to sift through all of this. Will Justin Baldoni's side, Brian Friedman, be presenting this as evidence to show that Vituska is not credible? My guess is some of the pro-Blake Lively people will not be sharing this contradicting evidence. That's just my guess, but we'll have to see. You know, it's been a wild story. we've got more updates tomorrow. We've got weekend updates. You guys know when I have a special sponsor, I like to give you guys a dedicated weekend video. So tomorrow, we're going to be piecing together the craziness between Blake, young Blake, aka Isabella, how Isabella shot her career in the foot. I'm doubting that Isabella will be in the survival list, although if she's going to be pimping for Blake so hard, you might as well give her a role in something, right? She's going to be playing just slightly younger than Blake. What if she, that'd be great if they recast Blake and just cast Isabella, and Blake's like, oh, I created a monster. So yeah, this update's insane, and how this all works itself out is interesting to me because I have no idea. I have no idea what comes next when someone may have clearly lied under oath. Yes, they're not credible, but what comes of that? Now, normally, as I'm told by people in this industry, you don't hear much or get much prosecution from somebody who commits perjury. You know, it's often hard to prove. But as we know, we caught Laura Owens in multiple lies. And again, if you're here just for the Blake Lively stuff, please listen to what I'm about to say. This was a wild week. It was a wild week for Blake Lively's, lawsuit, but it was also a wild week for me. Several nights ago, you might not have heard this story because on YouTube, people will click on stories that they find interesting, and you might say, I don't know much about this Bachelor Clayton stuff. I'll say it in 3 sentences. Bachelor Clayton was accused falsely of being the father of this lady's unborn twins. The more we, our community, the Justice for Clayton community, unearthed all of the evidence, we found out that this lady had done this to multiple men in the past, claiming twins, claiming domestic violence, one time claiming ovarian cancer, all these separate things. And the more we unraveled it, the more we realized she sent fraudulent information to me, which has made me a star witness in the upcoming trial in Arizona as she's being charged with 7 felony counts. Well, several days ago, I get an email from somebody saying that Laura, and again, trigger warning, we're going to talk about self-harm and suicide. They sent me an email saying Laura attempted suicide, and in that email said, we don't know if she made it. This is psychological terrorism. It's insane. I got a lot of emails from you guys saying, Dave, we're so sorry you had to deal with this. Look, I'm not jockeying to play the victim here. I'm not. I'm just letting you know, having had to deal with this lady for several years where she says, if you keep covering this story, I'll hurt myself. The blood's on your hands. She said these things to the point in which the FBI got involved. The FBI got involved and called Scottsdale Police and did a wellness check. We called the police this week and we talked to detectives and did a wellness check. They all said she's fine. So what is it? Either way, updates coming in today. And again, I mentioned this morning. I said I have it on good. I have some sources within the story here that are telling me that David Gingras, we call him Baby Jingy, Laura's attorney, who apparently she never paid him any money. I don't know. Did the check get cashed? Her parents are several $1 million in debt, filing bankruptcy this week, Chapter 13 and all of that. But David Gingras is no longer representing Laura Owens in her California DVRO renewal case against Mike Maricini. Okay, so she's going to court in Arizona, right? She's charged with 7 felony counts, but at the same time, she's still trying to have this sort of attachment to Michael Maricini. She basically has her hands gripped around his balls, and the court system has let her do this, and they've renewed her restraining order until we got involved. She's got restraining orders against Mike, Greg, and Clayton. She tried to get one against me. It's bad news for her. Well, we're on top of this story. We're continuing to follow it. I just shared with a Patreon an exclusive note, patreon.com/Dave Neal, that I may be acquiring an exclusive interview very shortly. Yesterday, the Supreme Court rules that it's over. Ron Owens' daughter loses court bid in pregnancy scandal, must pay $200,000. Now, will she? I don't think so. But if anyone will be riding horses into the sunset, it will be Clayton Echard's attorney, Greg Woodnick, because he has racked up a multi-$100,000 bill that he's just not going to get paid for. She's not going to pay this. Laura Owens' paternity claims against Bachelor star Clayton Echard were predicated on fraud, his attorney said. Faking medical records, disease, and SA allegations is deplorable. So calling her deplorable. Now, we haven't heard too much from Clayton Echard's attorney because unlike Laura's attorney, he's worked within the parameters of the court system, not just public relations. Now, Laura's attorney sent, and again, I'm blocked by him, but I get messages from people saying her attorney sent a tweet out saying, "I've booked a one-way ticket out of Arizona. I'm done." Who knows? I mean, look, here's the thing. We wish him well, all the best. But the collateral damage is all his own making. He took a shit in an elevator and now he has to deal with a stench, right? The elevator's stuck. He can't get off. This is his doing. We have not picked a fight, and I say the collective we, with Laura's new attorney. I can't even remember his name. Kalsrud, one of those things, because he's working in the parameters of the legal system. He's not fighting with people on Reddit. He's not threatening to make me homeless and do deplorable things. So, Gingras, this is all of your making. You picked a fight and you lost. You lost the fight on multiple counts. You lost the fight on June 10th, 2024. You lost it in the appeals. You lost it at the Supreme Court level. And not only that, the Supreme Court ruled for that she's going to have to foot the bill. Again, she never will, but this is extremely rare. So in the same week that KGO 810 radio legend Ron Owens filed for bankruptcy, citing more than $2.3 million in liabilities, including an unpaid mortgage, credit card debt, his daughter Laura Owens lost her bid to have the Arizona Supreme Court review a petition that stems from her notorious paternity litigation against Bachelor star Clayton Echard, in which she claims that he got her pregnant with twins after a one-night stand in May of 2023. Boy, that's a pretty wild sentence. Let's take a quick break for our sponsors, and when we come back, we're going to finish this. So news came Wednesday that the Arizona Supreme Court had denied her petition for review, a decision that leaves intact a 2024 trial court ruling that declared that the 35-year-old daughter of the Bay Area media legend failed to produce evidence that she was ever pregnant. The TV dating show star has all along maintained that they never had sexual intercourse during their encounter, just oral. The blowjob twins. The tonsil twins. The court's decision also means that Laura is on the hook for Echard's attorney fees, which initially were $149,000, but have ballooned to more than $200,000 as she appealed the trial court's ruling. Look, she abused the court system just like she did these men, right? It's my opinion. I don't think she's going to sue me over this. And the idea, obviously she has a fake friend send this suicide threat to me, right? And in that threat says, I wouldn't be so cocky that you're not going to get sued by the family. On what fund? Who the hell? You don't have a nickel to rub between the two of you, the three of you. Just worry about your dying father, for fuck's sake. Which is what we've said all along. We can empathize with that. My father's dead. I can empathize with the fact that you only get so many moments with your family. I almost end every Friday episode saying, go hug your fucking mom. Because you don't know when these relationships go away. At a blink of an eye. And yet, for 2 years now, she has used and abused the court system to terrorize these men. And we just say, enough is enough. That's what we say, enough is enough. So here is what we got from Greg Woodnick. They call him Zaddy. Zaddy Woodnick. Clayton and our team are happy, but certainly not surprised by the Arizona Supreme Court's decision to deny review, Echard's attorney Zaddy Woodnick said in a statement to this news organization. Her paternity claims against Clayton were predicated on fraud. The trial court identified it, the Court of Appeals accepted it, and the Arizona Supreme Court not only declined to review the matter, but awarded more fees against Owens. Oof, rough day. How can she afford the Botox? I don't understand. Who's fronting this bill? Laura Owens unsuccessfully appealed Mata's ruling to higher courts in Arizona and pursued the Supreme Court review, even after she was indicted in May on 7 felony counts of perjury, fraud, forgery, and evidence tampering. And again, you might feel bad for her, I understand, but she still has not admitted to doing anything wrong. So you can't feel bad for someone who's still digging their own grave. Metaphorically. And I always have to say metaphorically because he's telling me I'm digging my own grave. It's a metaphor, bitch. The indictment alleges that Laura Owens doctored a sonogram and pregnancy video and lied under oath that she pressed her. She admitted to some of these things. So anyway, you understand where we are. Faking medical records, disease, and essay. So I wonder which disease. That's because she faked ovarian cancer, which is a disease, right? She's a disease, as some think. She'll spread the disease, that is, around. which is also a metaphor. Let's move on. Abusing the system. Okay, you got all of that. So Woodnick, they're roasting her. Laura Owens and her attorney in the paternity case, David Gingras, declined to comment on the Arizona Supreme Court ruling pending her criminal case in Arizona. On his Twitter account, Gingras wrote that he had heard about the Supreme Court's decision and not acknowledged that this aspect of the case is over. Sad. Not overly surprised. The outcome was wrong, but the court wasn't willing to help. It happens. Oh, boo the fuck who. So he was so cocky, so confident. I mean, we could compile all of the cases, and maybe if you guys have free time, you'll want to, all of the cases of him going, this is absolutely, wait till you think you know, but the court said, wrong. And then when Woodnick emails me, which some consider witness tampering, when he emails me the one day between him being her attorney and him not, they were on a break. Well, I'm heating up, folks. When he, see me at the funny bone, when he emails me, he's just like, he emailed me last week, and he's like, kind of veiled threat that he's threatening my YouTube channel if I don't take a photo down on a, even though she wasn't actually his client, blah, 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 blah. But he's like, I've got a bone to pick with you. Why? What if, literally, you don't need to know I exist. I'm not, I don't have a bullhorn on your front patio. I'm just out here on YouTube. You could just not subscribe to my stuff, and none of this would matter. I don't tag him in things. I don't spread hate his way. All we've done is blocked every shot he's ever taken. Imagine if this was a one-on-one basketball game. He dribbles, he goes to shoot, boom, stuff down. He dribbles, he goes to shoot, boom, stuff down. And he's like, I've got a bone to pick with you. Why? Because you can't play the game I'm playing? I don't understand. So either way, he's in a clip of a YouTube video that Gingras and Laura Owens made together before her indictment, which has since been deleted. He told her, I hope you never pay Clayton. If you have millions of dollars stashed away, he can go look for it. If you don't, he ain't getting nothing. After Laura Owens admitted she didn't have any money for Clayton to obtain via a collection agency, Gingras also said, you get blood from a stone or you don't, and Clayton can go fuck himself. Gosh. Gingras clearly can go fuck himself. So this article's insane. Good on them. Let's see. Is this Martha Ross. Good on Martha Ross for really bringing it in this article. When she first started covering it, she had no idea the depths of what was going on. A lot of people didn't, because it's the Bachelor world, it's Arizona news, and it's Martha who brought this story to the San Francisco audience. And it's, again, this is the type of stuff that will be making its way into the documentary and all of that. So wild stuff indeed. Hey, Bill Belichick was caught on date night in Chapel Hill. Jordan Hudson lends a hand. Can you imagine that, being 24 years old and you take your mid-70s boyfriend out to dinner at a college campus? I'm 40. If I go to a college campus, I feel like a grandfather. I feel like the oldest person in the world. There was a kid last night who came to my stand-up show. I said a kid, he's 25. And he wanted to get a photo with me because I have long hair that looks like his. And he says, I want to see what I'll look like in 10 years. And I was like, well, in 10 years, you'll be 35. So you're basically calling me 5 years younger than I am. I'll take it. My biological clock's 29. Other news, judge orders Alligator Alcatraz to shut down in 60 days. Says no more new detainees. That's a wild story. Alligator, they called it Alligator Alcatraz. It's probably more like Alligator Auschwitz. And again, I don't mean any disrespect. It's literally like a detainment camp, so no disrespect. But we don't know who's in there. We don't know who's an American citizen. We don't know how much they're eating or bathing or sicknesses or if it'll get wiped out in a hurricane. Judge says it's got to go. In other news, let's end with this. Actually, I have one other story. Let's go to Trump first. There's a FBI raided John Bolton's home. John Bolton, formerly working with Trump. Trump's hat. Look at this boomer ass font. Oh my gosh. The hat says Trump was right about everything. Does he know the font is getting bigger and bigger? No wonder there's tariffs. They need to pay for the stitching on these things. Holy cow. He's going to literally have to get one of those Elmer Fudd hats just to cover the size 64 font. Anyway, here is, we have to share this. Here's Trump playing dumb about the FBI raiding talk about weaponizing the Justice Department. Listen to this.
They'll brief me probably today sometime. I don't want to, I tell Pam and I tell the group, I don't want to know, but just you have to do what you have to do. I don't want to know about it. It's not necessary. I could know about it. I could be the one starting it. I'm actually the chief law enforcement officer. But I feel that it's better this way.
better. I mean, legally better that way, that he doesn't know what's going on, but he knows what's going on. And I mean, this is just absolutely insane. All right, let's end on a high note. You want to end on a high note? Well, it's a sad note. Let's end on a sad high note. Judge Frank Caprio, who is known to millions for the compassion he showed to defendants on his show Caught in Providence, has died at age 88 after a battle with pancreatic cancer.
The judge with a heart of gold. He was the compassionate courtroom judge seen by millions, whose rulings changed so many lives for the better.
I think 9:59 is close enough to 10. Matters dismissed.
Thank you.
For 40 years, Judge Frank Caprio would hear cases from his Providence, Rhode Island bench, along the way earning the reputation as America's nicest judge.
In that location, it's like mad lights. I was confused.
In your lane of traffic, there's a green light. In the other lane of traffic, which is not your lane, there's a red arrow.
All right, so he's very comical. You know, if you don't know Rhode Island, it's kind of like if Brooklyn and Boston got together. It's bizarre. There's weird accents. There's this Italian culture in Providence. It's where I'm from Rhode Island and Providence Plantation. That's the name of the state. And I wanted to share a quick story with you guys. I didn't really know. First of all, I grew up without a dad. Didn't know him. Met him when I was an adult, and he has passed away. Nice guy, fought for our country. Had PTSD from Vietnam. Tough life, real tough life. My grandfather, that was my dad, and then my grandfather, so my mom's dad, was also kind of an absentee guy. My grandfather was kind of a vagabond. He was a Rolling Stone. He had a sailboat, and he kind of, in some ways abandoned his 8 children when him and his wife got divorced. And so for a lot of reasons, he was a piece of shit. He was an alcoholic. He struggled with addiction, and he lived on a boat, and he would drive it up and down the East Coast by himself. Or, he would sail his boat up and down the East Coast by himself. And that's just the life he lived. He dabbled in stand-up comedy, actually. I heard he had done stand-up. He was a writer, and he was also a musician. He recorded an album. He lived in a time, just like my father, that didn't accept him, maybe his art, maybe the pressures of the patriarch society just didn't work well. I don't know. I'm not making excuses for him. I don't know. I truly don't know. I just remember never really knowing him grow up. As he aged, and I'm going to get back to this, as my grandfather aged, there was, and I think this happens a lot with people, more humanity presented to him because he was, an older gentleman. We do that, right? When you're an adult, you're just an a-hole, cutting me off in traffic. F you, buddy, whatever. You're just kind of treated like another cog in the machine. And then children, babies, pregnant women. I got to witness this with my wife, how kind people were to pregnant women, and elderly and disabled people generally are treated in a way that everyone should be treated with, just with utmost compassion. And Judge Frank Caprio was doing that for others. He passed away at 88 with, I believe pancreatic cancer, which is so sad. But even until his last days, he was still sharing that compassion that we really would hope people would have for others, for strangers. That's what grace is. It's giving people the benefit of the doubt, even if they don't deserve it. And it's hard to do. It's hard to have grace for people that you might not think deserve it. So I say all of that because as my grandfather aged, he made his way back into everyone's lives in my family. Now, I didn't have a good relationship with him, but I was able to see him, and in his last years and before he passed away. He passed away just a couple months ago, and it was kind of cathartic for my family to have that moment where they were able to, just get a final shot at bringing peace, and which is going to make what I'm going to share with you. So I guess. I don't know, sweet, which is that my mom, who again, brought her father back into this world as he, like I said, my grandfather came back to New England and, started to amend a lot of these mistakes he made. But in his later years, my mom actually had to take him to Judge Caprio. Here's the clip.
Leonard Clark. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Okay. Who was driving the car?
I was, sir.
All right.
That's my grandfather.
This is on John Partington Way in Friendship Street. It was at 12 o'clock noon. Do you remember that?
I have no recollection of it, Your Honor. I was on my way to the VA hospital,
and I'm not familiar with the area, so I was probably looking at street signs and missed it. I
By the way, old people should not be driving.
just don't know.
Every other court case is just an old person going, I blew through a street sign. I was driving 80 in a 20. I didn't know.
Did you, what branch of the service were you in?
Army artillery.
Artillery? Yeah,
And the sad thing is watching this, I learned more about my grandfather than I ever knew. I didn't know any of this.
when did you serve?
Oh, Lord, it's a century ago. So let's see, 1956 to 1958.
Really? Let's take a look at the red light violation.
It's a yellow. Oh, that's a red. Oh, we've all gone through a red like that.
The light was red for quite a period of time.
No.
Did you see that?
No, sir.
What's the time on that, please? 0.4.
Oh, so they measure how long it was a red light. So it was a red light for 0.4 seconds. We've all been there. You shouldn't.
Your Honor, in 67 years of driving, it's the first time I've had an infraction like that. I don't know what happened.
What is your first name?
Your Honor, my name is Connie.
Connie.
This is my father. Today's his 85th birthday, so I wanted to bring him up here so he wasn't alone. Traversing
Look at my mom. How funny is that? She's throwing in the guilt. It's his birthday. What do you want?
through Providence again.
You better sit him down and talk to him. I mean, after all these years, you got a violation. First one ever.
That's why I drove him up today.
All right.
Where in reality, my mom's calling me going, geez, your grandfather, I got to go to court. But hey, what do you got to, you get somewhere with a little bit of honey.
Mr. Clark, I'm going to dismiss the case. I actually, and I'm not going to use their money, but I have a whole bunch of letters here from veterans all over the country who asked me to use, they sent money in checks, asking that I use those to pay fines for veterans, because the veterans are all very, very close. In your case, I'm not going to use up those funds. I'm going to dismiss it outright. Okay, so the matter is going to be dismissed, and I think I can say on behalf of everyone here, happy birthday.
Thank you.
You have a celebration planned for tonight?
We have a few. He doesn't know about all of them.
Oh, okay.
You just ruined the birthday surprise, Judge.
Come on over if you're free, sir.
Okay, well, I don't know what's going on, but there'll probably be sometime tonight, there probably may be a cake with 85 candles on it, so I'm not sure, but if it's a chocolate cake, please give us a call, because Inspector Quinn and I will be running right down. All right. Mr. Clark, the matter is dismissed, and thank you for your service to our country, and happy birthday. I mean that honestly. You know? And I want to congratulate you for coming down with your dad.
Thank you.
I think one of the sins of this country is the disintegration of the family unit. The family unit is the basic unit of society, you know, and it just warms my heart when I see close family units, because I don't see that every day here. Sometimes I see just the opposite. So I want to congratulate you for coming down with your dad.
Thank you.
You did a good job raising this young girl. Good luck to you. The matter is dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank
So
you.
there it is. Rest in peace, Frank Caprio and Skip Clark. All right, that's it for us. We'll have a bonus episode tomorrow. See you then. I'm Dave. This is The Rush.